Hi friends, today is chapter 14, Dr. Thaddeus. Remember, she's the superintendent. Hijacked horns, scuttle, spirit celebration. The Greenwich Telegraph, local news, by Martin Landsman, staff reporter. Now I'm going to show you the print on this one, because you can see that it looks different. So that's the top, that means it's an article in the local news. Greenwich Middle School's annual Spirit Week was a disappointment this year after a prank gone awry dropped a shipment of the traditional vuvuzelas into the river. Although more than half of the noisemakers were eventually recovered, there was little enthusiasm at the school for blowing them. "I'm not putting my mouth on those things," one student commented. "You know, fish go to the bathroom in the water." District officials are not revealing the names of the perpetrators of the prank, saying only that they have been appropriately reprimanded and that their teacher is a veteran educator. But the Telegraph has learned that the teacher in question is Mr. Zachary Kermit, who still is remembered for his involvement in the 1992 cheating scandal that remains a serious black eye for Greenwich schools. That's the end of the article. Christina Vargas finished reading the article and slides it back across my desk. "Surely you're not still angry at Zachary Kermit for what happened 27 years ago?" "Why shouldn't I be?" I asked irritably. "The whole town remembers the scandal. The fact that it came up in the story proves that." The principal shrugs. "You know as well as I do that the real culprit was Jake Terranova. He's the one who got his hands on a stolen exam and went into business selling it to his classmates. He may have been the only 12 at the time, but he was the same wheeler dealer that he is today with his car business. All Zachary was guilty of was all Zachary, who is Mr. Kermit, was guilty of being fooled like everybody else. Like me, for one, and you." I grimace. Superintendent is a powerful job, but a lonely one as well. When big decisions have to be made, there's no higher authority to appeal to. You are the law. Christina's right that in 1992, Zachary Kermit knew nothing about the Terranova kid, what the Terranova kid was up to. But when you're the big boss, don't you have the luxury of considering things like that? All that matters is the optics. How does it look? In 1992, it looked very bad. And if the mere mention of Zachary Kermit's name reopens that old wound in a newspaper article written by a reporter who probably wasn't even born in 1992, then the optics haven't gotten any better. An elephant never forgets the people of Greenwich have memories. No, an elephant never forgets. The people of Greenwich have memories that are longer still. The district wasn't exactly supportive when the cheating scandal was going on, the principal adds. You can't fault Zachary for feeling abandoned. No wonder he's gotten so burned out. What about this latest incident? I probe. That wasn't Zachary's fault either, she offers. We gave him the Unteachables. What did you expect? I expect him to control 7 kids. Is that so unreasonable? I knew he wasn't going to turn them into future presidents or even into solid citizens. But to keep them from grand theft vuvuzelas. Is that too much to ask? I have her there. Not even the most sympathetic principal can condone the kind of stealing, disruption, and destruction of property that transpired on Monday. And look what happened when he tried to stop them, I go on, pressing my advantage. They all ended up in the river. I just got off the phone with our insurance company. They had a few choice words to say about that, let me assure you. She sighs wanly. I like Zachary. We started out teaching together. He was brilliant and dedicated. What happened in 1992 destroyed his confidence. We should have stepped up to make sure he didn't blame himself. Instead, all we cared about was making sure we were covered when the newspapers got a hold of the story. It ruined Zachary's career. Another difference between principals and superintendents. Principals can be nice. He ruined his own career. He might have been a good teacher once, but he isn't anymore. I agree. We gave him the most difficult kids in the district, and he made them worse. He'll be out of our hair soon enough, she offers. We both know he's planning to take early retirement. I wince. In the education business, you don't reach the level of superintendent without knowing how to do a little homework. The health and longevity of Kermit's family are appalling. Zachary Sr. celebrated his 80th birthday by going skydiving. The grandfather just turned 106. If the youngest Kermit has the same genes, he'll be collecting pension from the school district for more than 50 years. So that means all Mr. Kermit's relatives live a long time. The taxpayers of Greenwich shouldn't be on the hook for a bad teacher, I tell her. If he's fired for a cause, he'll get no pension at all. So pension is what you get paid for your retirement. So she's trying to say if he gets fired, we don't have to pay him that. She doesn't like that. You have no cause, not for a few lost noisemakers and something that happened 27 years ago. So now the principal's on Kermit's side. Not yet, I concede, but I'll find cause. Zachary Kermit is untrustworthy and incompetent. I know he's your friend, but as his boss, can you really defend him? She doesn't answer. A principal always knows when there's dead wood on staff that needs to be cleared away. I don't gloat. That would be unbecoming of a superintendent. But privately, I enjoy watching her squirm as she struggles to come up with the answer to that. I wonder, she finally muses, when Zachary fell into the river. No defense of a teacher should include the sentence that ends with fell in a river, I cut her off. The students didn't fall, she persists. They jumped in because they thought they had to rescue Zachary. Remember the kids were talking about some of the most difficult and antisocial we've ever seen? But they're loyal to him. Why? 12 hours later, I lie in bed trying to sleep. That why is still reverberating inside my skull. Now it sounds like that superintendent doesn't really like Mr. Kermit and hasn't liked him since when the incident with that other child with the cheating scandal. She blamed Mr. Kermit when it wasn't his fault. So now she's trying to figure out a way to get him fired so she doesn't have to pay him retirement. But the principal just pointed out that those kids didn't fall in the river. They jumped in to save him. And that means they are loyal to their teacher. And so what has her stumped is why are they loyal to him? So that's your question for today. Why are the students loyal to Mr. Kermit? What do you think? See you tomorrow for Chapter 15, Matteo Hendrickson. And remember, Matteo is the one that likes the comic books and all the superheroes.